bubble for Moo.
In a world where greedy business practices ruin the sanctity of a pretty fun competitive 2D platformer, one company, nay, one hero would rise to take on the crown of the new best competitive 2D platform fighter.
Good morning, world! I'm ready!
But when the world needed the hype the most, it vanished. Several months passed, and a new 2D platform fighter was announced, called Multiverse. And although the announcement trailer was great, it has a lot to learn before it's ready to dethrone anyone. But I believe one of these two can enhance the genre.
Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl is a good game. The controls are smooth, lots of love went into developing the characters' movesets, rollback netcode was introduced, promising gamers that the lag from their platform fighter would be a thing of the past. At the time of its launch, a peak of 9,000 players would be on at one given time. From there, the game slowly died out. But what went wrong? Why did Nintendo All-Stars Brawl get so many players very quickly, then within a matter of 2 weeks, quickly lose them all? And is there any chance that Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl can come back from being a dead game? To answer these questions, we need to briefly talk about the history of competitive 2D platform fighters. From there, we can uncover the roots to these questions, and maybe even come to some acceptable answers. Back in 1998, a new game was released called Super Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64. It was considered a fighter game, but it wasn't like the Street Fighters or Mortal Kombats of the era. In traditional fighters, you start with 100% of your health, and as you get hit, the health bar goes down. Once the bar hits 0, you lose the round. Rather, at the bottom where each character was assigned a percent number, starting at 0. Each time the character got hit, the percent went up. The higher the percent, the further away moves would send the character. At the edges of the screen were kill zones. If the character were to enter these kill zones, they would lose a stock. Games from the Super Smash Bros. Series and Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl were given the name platform fighters. Given the percent and knockback rule, platform fighters are typically two-dimensional fighting games with increased movement and platforms to jump on. For a long time, Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. Series was the only one of its kind. But as the saying goes, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And in the eyes of this critic, Nintendo has made several decisions that I can only look back on and say were just mean and evil. 3 years later, in 2001, a new game came out in the Smash series called Super Smash Bros. Melee.
See? He's right near the edge! Oh my god! Destruction!
No, I think you do need that. Yeah. I think you do need that edge guard, and I think you should take me seriously. Because look at the scoreboard now.
Yeah, I got numbers on the...
Yo, did he just walk up slowly and down smash?
He did. Happy feet! Wombo combo!
That ain't Falco!
That ain't Falco! Oh!
Fans liked it. The release of Melee would mark where the company and its competitive community would split. In 2008, Nintendo would release Super Smash Bros. Brawl for their next released console, the Nintendo Wii. Fighting games are fast-paced, and winners are defined by fast reactions and outthinking the opponents. Nintendo wanted to branch out again, defying traditional fighting games. To appeal to a more casual audience, Brawl movement was slowed, and a more random mechanic was introduced, called tripping. This move was heavily unpopular by the Melee fanbase. In most fighting games, the controls and character movements are refined and polished for the next game, so it's natural to see all the competitive players move from one game in the series to the next. But Nintendo chose to isolate the competitive fanbase, who are not happy with the new tripping mechanic and slower movement. This decision led to the birth of Project M, a mod for Super Smash Bros. Brawl to make it more like Melee. In 2013, EVO, one of the world's biggest fighting game tournament events, announced it was offering a chance for a new fighting game community to join their ranks. EVO hosted a charity saying whichever community donated the most money would be allowed in. The Super Smash Bros. Community donated over $90,000 to help and won the slot, none of which was financed by Nintendo themselves. But what did Nintendo do? They banned their game from being streamed. Dozens of accounts of various bans, cease and desist letters have been sent from Nintendo throughout the last decade. See, Project M was too big for Nintendo to come in and cancel without getting any significant backlash. So what they ended up doing was even more maniacal than just simply canceling it. So Nintendo told Twitch that they would help them host a Super Smash Bros. Circuit. But in this exchange, Twitch was hard pressured by Nintendo to stop allowing Project M streams to be streamed on their platform. A year ago in 2020, Hungrybox, top Melee player, covered the situation and said that his channel was threatened to be terminated should he continue to stream Project M. Oh yeah, and talks about the circuit? Yeah, that circuit never happened. After hearing all this, whether you're still on Nintendo's side in the situations or not, it is clear that Nintendo has a history of not wanting anything to do with the competitive streaming of their games. According to the law of supply and demand, where there is high demand, the supply will come to meet the demand. Since Nintendo doesn't want to help aid the Smash Bros. And platform fighter community grow, it leaves a door open for another who will. Before Ludiocity would go on to make Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, they would have their own 2D platform fighter known as Slap City. Slap City was a great game, and it has its own community, but that community size is tiny when compared to that of Smash Bros. The competitive users of Smash Bros. Want to be able to play a fast-paced, action-packed platform fighter game, and has done everything in its power to make sure they still have a game to play. Nickelodeon partnered with Ludiocity to create Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, a new platform fighter. It has all the fast, quick movements competitive players want to see. It has a developer who is willing to communicate with their community and host their own tournaments. The publisher GameMill has their backs as well, releasing video after video giving an analysis of every character coming out to the game. Players from all over were getting hyped. The game is talked about and seen by millions of players. So many fans of competitive platform fighters, all ready to try the new game. And October 5th, 2021, the game would come out and be purchased by tens of thousands of people on Steam, and many more across all the consoles. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl even began to be rumored as the series who could kill competitive Super Smash Bros. But this sentiment has not aged well. Despite all this help, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl fell flat, with over 90% of its player base leaving the game 2 weeks after launch. Let's go over some of the problems that arise in the game. These issues come down to the user experience. There is no voice lines for any of the characters. These characters are remembered for their catchy, funny one-liners, and lack of them talking in the game just doesn't feel right. The graphics need to be polished. There are no items for casuals. There is a low amount of initial characters. Characters such as Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner are nowhere to be seen in this game as of December 2021. There are few game modes to play apart from an arcade mode where you can fight one line of fighters, an online mode where competitive players await, and sports mode. Nobody played sports mode. So after playing a couple games, what else is there to do? This lack of community-driven events, I believe, is part of the reason why so many people are not playing Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. So what can be changed? I have a couple ideas as to what Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl can do to start making its own community naturally. Recently, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl has released a skin for the character Toph. Now this skin was just given away to the players, but instead of just giving the skin away, you could have the players earn it by playing the game. See, in Overwatch, there's a very similar thing that happens. A skin is released into the Overwatch game. Players are told they have to play 27 games, but if they win, they count for 2 games instead of 1. Instead of having the skin be a limited time event, players who win this challenge can be awarded the skin early and have bragging rights to having the skin before all the other players can have it. Another example is to create a community based off of something within the game. Now, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl does have some very fast-paced, fluid game mechanics. Part of the problem, though, is that several players think that the mechanics are too fast for them to keep up with. My suggestion would be to introduce these mechanics in a slow, safe environment for players to learn the mechanics. I think one of the best ways to do this as of right now is to have a combo contest mode. In this mode, it would be very similar to the training mode, only instead you're able to spawn items at random parts of the map, and you can reset the positions of yourself and all the characters who are in the combo. I also think having a mode in the game that you could save the video of said combo and share it either within the game or have an ability to share it on social media would further increase the total population of people playing the game. This allows casuals the ability to come in and play the game. Casuals are important for the competitive scene to thrive. Several competitive players have gone on record saying that they like to be the best in the world, and that being able to call themselves the best in the world feels a lot better when millions of people play the game as opposed to when not millions of people play the game. So the key to getting competitive players into All-Stars Brawl is to attract the casual audience.